Just wanted to hang out with you before we jump on a plane and go home and spend a few minutes and just share with you just some simple things to think through. The business is simple, and I always have kept it that way. And I know that some of you came into this business the same way I did, thinking, can I really do it? And you've heard things all weekend, and you're trying to leave here going, wow, I just want to believe I can do it. Let me help you. I didn't believe I could do it. I didn't believe I could do it, okay? I want to just share with you our story, and then I'm going to leave. Our short story is very, very simple. I didn't think I could do this thing. We were just, I'm telling you, we were two kids. There was nothing about us that you would look at and say, they can make it. I couldn't talk to people. I was so afraid to talk to people or meet people. Tammy will tell you she would watch me walk across a parking lot to shake someone's hand, and I was physically shaking. I was so afraid. But I went. But I was so afraid. We had no financial background. We didn't come from money. We had, we were living in this little apartment. We had nothing that you would look at and say, that couple can build it. And so we didn't believe we could build it. We would see them on stage and they were bigger than life. But they said it was just 9 steps. And 9 steps for us became the great equalizer. See, I didn't know if I could ever talk like them, be like them, think like them, but I knew this. I could listen to what they listened to. I could read what they read. I could go where they went. This is the great equalizer. And it didn't care what I thought or what I believed. And then we understood the power of the dream and the power of focus. And so we got started, and it wasn't fancy. We went 1,000 PV, okay? Now, Brent and Brenda went 1,000 PV in a month. But it was a 90-day type thing. In 3 months, we were new 1,000s, and it wasn't fancy. I had 4 legs, and 2 of them had somebody. You with me? 6 people, all right? That was it. 1,000 PV, okay? But everything changed. Belief changed. See, up to that point, here's what my belief was. I believed I could do those 9 steps. That was it. I didn't know if I could do all 9 of them at first, but I believed I could get there. And so that first phase was getting that first month, learning just to do those 9, and I was being consistent with those 9. So I believed I could do the 9. Do you believe you can go 7,500? No, 7,500, I can't spell it, I can't see it. It is so far ahead of me that you should have said 75 million and it'd have been in the same game. Because it didn't matter, 75 million, 7,500, I can't do it. No, that's too far. So my belief was I could do 9 steps. We went 1,000 and my belief changed. Now you believe you could go platinum. No, I believed I could go 1,000 because that's what we did. And I believed that I could teach somebody to go 1,000. And my mind started turning. I said, I don't think I can ever go 7,500, it's too big. But I believe this. I believe I could teach 7 people to do what I've done. And if I teach 7 people to do what I've done, we're there. And so I couldn't count to 7,500, but I could count to 7. 7 sounds simpler to me. So we drew a line, called our big team of 6 together, said, we're making about I think it was $200 a month, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I said, so who wants to do it? Who wants to build that 1,000 PV team? 2 of them did. 2 of the 6, 2 did. I said, okay. It takes 90 days. That's all I knew. It takes 90 days. And so what we're going to do is we're going to help you over the next 90 days because I know how I did it. We're going to help you build a 1,000 PV team. So we drew a line, and Tammy and I did a 1,000 PV team again. There's your key. We did it again. So we're in 90 days. Now we go 90 more. 6 months. 6 months. But we went 1,000 again, and we had 2 out of that 1,000 that said, we would like to do this. One of the 2 that we had go 1,000 with us, they went 1,000. One of them had 1 and one of them had 2. So we took those, put them in a pot there and said, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the next 90 days, we're gonna teach you guys how to go 1,000. I told those 2 to do it again, draw a line and do it again. You gotta set that example, let's go. We drew a line and we did it a 3rd time, that's what we were doing. So now we're going 1,000. 2 of these are going 1,000. And then the ones that we brand new, we got all of them teaching them how to go 1,000. What are we doing? You're simply doing what? You're doing meet and greets off what? Their list, basically. They got an A list, come on. That's what we're doing. See, we were very cautious about who we put on a team so that we'd have right people. Right people make a big difference. You know what's interesting is, for me, I didn't have to be right people. I'd had to put right people on a team. That was it. See, I played for a lot of coaches that really weren't that good at playing the game, but they're really good at coaching the game. So I realized I don't have to be really good at playing this game. I just got to be really good at finding people that can play the game at a high level. That was my mindset. I was putting together a team. It wasn't on my shoulders. It was who we could put on a team. That was it. And I'd look at a player and I'd look at somebody I'm carrying through today. You'd be carrying through the process, and we called it, I called it back then, I called it qualifying. Today we call it vetting. Same word, same mentality. But here's what I would look at. I would look and I'd ask 4 questions. I'd look, number 1, are you hungry? That's what I would look at. See, that's really all we really brought to the table. We were hungry. But number 1 is hungry. Are they hungry? Do they have an ambition? Are they hungry? Have they got a dream? That was important to us. Number 2, are you relatable? Are you relatable? Do you have any people skills at all? Why did I say that? Because I didn't, okay? But I knew this. I knew that I could learn them, and I did. I had to learn stuff, and that takes a while. But I knew too, in coaching, I knew as a coach, I knew if I have a kid that's got a lot of speed, he can run, he's got speed, it's natural, that's awesome. Now I can teach somebody how to get faster and stronger, but I can never teach it to that level. That's natural stuff. So I looked for somebody that was relatable, because that's natural. Now I don't have to teach it, it's natural. Thirdly, I looked and said, are you reliable? Is your word your bond? Are you reliable? And fourthly, do you have any credibility? Now, when we took the test on ourselves, we were hungry. Were we relatable? No. Were we reliable? Yeah, you could say that. We were good on our word. Did we have any credibility? No, we were just starting out. We didn't have any credibility. Well, we could borrow the credibility, okay? But I knew I had to, out of those 4, I had to work on 2. So when I was putting together a team, I looked. When I was qualifying, betting somebody, I was looking and I was going, number 1, are they hungry? If they're not hungry, I don't care if they have the other 3. I'm not dealing with them. They can be hungry and not have any more, and I can still get them there. It's just going to take some time. Okay? But I looked and said, number 1, are they hungry? Number 2, I look and say, are they relatable? They've got really good people skills. That's awesome. Number 3, I would look and say, are they reliable? Yeah, they are. Number 4, do they have credibility? Well, no, they just got out of school. They're just starting a job. Okay, we'll build credibility. I wanted to know how much of that I could put together, because I'm building a team. I'm building players. I know what the player looks like that can run. We have a guy they're a couple now. He was single when he got in the business, but he's beginning to build a business. And we were with some of his folks, and I said, so when you guys started, I said, number 1, were you hungry? He said, yeah, I was hungry. On a chart of 1 to 10, he was a 12. You see what I'm saying? He was hungry. I said, number 2, were you relatable? He said, not at all. I said, no, he was not at all. That's an understatement. He was a 3, okay? I said, were you reliable? He said, yes, sir. My word was my bond. And it was. He was good. Did you have any credibility? No, sir. I was in college. I said, so what happened with you? And I looked at you. Your extreme hunger said, pay attention over here. But I knew I was going to have to take time. Now it's taken 3 years, whatever, to build what? People skills, relatability, and now to build some credibility. So I knew what I had to make a player. So that's what we were doing. And so now we've gone, think about it, 6 months, and now I start again. I draw a line and I'm going 3 more months. And we're going to do what? Build a 1,000 PV team. What do they look like? Mine was 6 people, but today 300 PV, 300 PV. I mean, doesn't take much, okay? Doesn't take much. But we were building little 1,000 PV teams. Did I believe I could go platinum? No. Did I believe I could go diamond? Couldn't even spell it. No, none of that. I believed I could go 1,000. I believed I could teach you how to do what I did and go 1,000 PV. So now we're going this third, 9 months now, okay? 9 months. Month 8. Month 8, we have 2,200 points. Okay? So we've been building. In month 8, we have 2,200 points. Month 9, 8,200 points. Why? Everybody finished their 1,000 PV teams. That's what happened. It wasn't fancy. We went 8,200 points. We never were below that again, ever, in our business. 8,200 points because we did what? We knew how to go 1,000. Larry always says, you go platinum, You know how you did it? I go, I didn't know how I did it. I went 1,000 and I knew how I did it. And I taught somebody to go 1,000, 2 of them. And we taught 1 more, we taught 2 more, and I kept it that simple. You see, you come into this weekend like this and you see all the great speakers and all the great stories, and it's so easy to walk out of here like we did and go, we can never be that. You're not to be that, you're to be you. I can't spell 7,500. It could be 75 million. I can never see 7,500. I could see 7. I could see 7. But here's what's sad. That should be the norm. Across the board, we're not LTD. We're not seeing platinums break every 6 to 9 months like they should be. Why? We got a better process today than we had when we started it all. Why aren't we seeing that? Belief. Because we make this 7,500 thing so big in our mind that we don't think we can ever do it. Then what happens is we have people go 7,500, and they go 7,500 and they really don't have the right structure and maybe some of the right people, but they're really sharp. And so what happens, we look at them and say, gosh, they're so sharp and it's tough for them to do. I don't stand a prayer. That's where I was. That comparison game, that'll cost you everything. What I learned to do was build 1,000 PV team. Most of you in here are not at 0. So you're not building 1,000 PV team. You're at 200, 300, 400. You may be at 600. You've got just a little more to go, and you've got 1,000 PV team. That's it. You're right there at it. What would that look like if you partnered with your upline and said, look, I just want to do this. I want to come out of this weekend, and I want to absorb everything that I took in, but I can't do it all. Okay? I can't do everything. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take July, August, and then go into September as a new 1,000. That's what I'd like to do. Now, for me, I didn't care if it was 1,000 PV down one leg they had. That's their problem. They'll figure out width means profit. They'll figure that out later if they don't figure it out right then. But I like the 3 leg, 1,000 type, 3 to 4 legs. We had 4, but 3 to 4. Okay, I like that. So I wasn't hung up on how they built it. I was hung up on, do we know what we're trying to accomplish in it? That was the key. And we can talk about that and we could edify it. So instead of coming out of here like you've been drinking from a fire hose the whole time you've been here, take the pieces and take your notes, and go back, and those notes, a lot of the notes you took here, 6 months from now, they'll really relate to you. They may not right now. But decide, when I come out of here, what's most important? To me, building belief. And building belief at where you're at. And we just simply said, we believe we can do 9 steps, and we did those. And then we believe we could go 1,000 points, and we did that. And we said, we can build this business as big as we want to build it with this 1,000 PV teams. Because once we went 8,200 that month, you know what I thought? We can help 15 people do this, right? Why not? Why not? We went to 24,000 points. It's what I call a ruby. Everybody now calls a ruby somebody that went 15,000 one month and 8,000 the next month. That's not what I call a ruby. We went 24,000 points. Then we started breaking a platinum. But we broke a platinum and still had what? 16,000 on the side. See, that's the structure. That's when you talk about profitability and what makes this thing really work and really have a lot of fun with it. But it was built by doing what? A couple that didn't think they could do anything but 1,000. But they took that 1,000 and they just stacked blocks, 1,000 PV teams. That's it. That's it. You make it way too hard. You try to take too much out of here, and you try to do it all, and you get frustrated by Wednesday. I want you to go out of here with a plan. And if you just call an upline and go, we're going 1,000. We're at 300 right now. We got 700 more to go. Fantastic. What's that look like over July, August, and September? You're allowed to do it quicker, but what does it look like? Take that little team, find out who wants to follow you. 1 to 2 probably will. teach them to do it. It takes 7 of them. I could see 7. I could spell 7. And that's what built our business. I told you we were really bad at the business. We never did anything great in the business. We never had the super months when we sponsored 20 people, you know, all this type of stuff. We never had that burst. Our burst was we added 2. That was our burst, you know. But that was all we were looking at. If I could add 2 a month, every month, that would change our life forever. That's how simple the business is. You're making it way too hard. Leave here and explode. Leave here and explode. Listen, just this morning and the things you did this morning and the giving that you guys did this morning, you have opened a floodgate in this organization that you are not even aware of. I'm telling you, you got such special people. Kevin and Amelia, we love seeing them, being around them. We love them. I can't thank them enough. They came, like I said, they were at our home and they just served our team beyond what you could ever ask people. It was unreal, but it's the spirit of this team. It's the spirit of this team. Paul and Morgan have had my boys in their home. They've just been big brother to my boys. Brent and Brenda, you can't get any better than what you have, guys. I mean, they are the class of the class. Everything that they do is detail. It's such detail. It's such class. It's done right. And this team is poised now. Just you guys, you don't understand what really happened this morning and what you did and what you released. But you've released something that I'm saying this over you. I'm speaking over this organization. There's 10 diamonds are done. You're on those 10 teams, plus, there's plus. You need to go to that upline and say, you are going to be a diamond and I'll be one of those diamond legs. You need to make that and you need to go. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going 1,000. Well, I'm a 2,500. I don't care. Draw a line and go 1,000. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. But here's what I'm speaking over you, and I'm believing this over you. I'm believing that this organization will double. Will double. Not just have increase. You will double. You will have a double portion. I believe that. And I'm honored to lock arms and lock shields with you guys. And let's walk out this thing together. Tammy and I love you. Thank you for allowing us to be here. God bless you guys. Thank you.
For existing IBOs only, not for use with prospects. The success depicted in this profile may reflect income from sources other than Amway, such as earnings from the sale of training and education materials or other businesses and investments. While the techniques and approaches suggested have worked for others, no one can guarantee that these techniques and approaches will work for you. In addition, we want to emphasize that success in this business does not come without hard work.